While I was in labor with our son, my husband was live streaming from a hotel pool with his fitness coach. When I confronted him, he said, "You're always so dramatic." I took the baby and moved in with my mom. A month later, I saw a post about him going on a wellness retreat. What he didn't know was that the resort was owned by my aunt, and she was ready to help me make sure he never came back the same. I don't really post much, but I've been holding this story in for too long. What happened to me still doesn't feel real sometimes. I'm still trying to process it, honestly, but telling it makes me feel stronger. And maybe it'll help someone else too. This all started 8 months ago in Fort Worth, Texas. I was 9 months pregnant and beyond exhausted. My ankles were swollen, I couldn't sleep more than an hour at a time, and my husband, Jason, was being weird, detached. He used to rub my belly and talk to our baby, but as the due date got closer, he got colder. Distant. Like he wasn't interested anymore. We'd been married almost 4 years. We had our rough patches like any couple, but I thought we were solid. Until I went into labor. I started feeling sharp pains around 6 a.m. My mom drove over right away. I kept calling Jason. He'd gone out early for a quick jog. No answer. I sent him a text. "I think the baby's coming. Heading to the hospital." Still nothing. By the time I got checked into the hospital and hooked up to machines, I was in full labor. Contractions were tearing through me. My mom stayed by my side the entire time, holding my hand, keeping me calm. The nurses kept asking if I wanted them to call my husband. I told them no. I'd already called him 6 times. He knew what was happening. He just didn't care. I gave birth to our son, our perfect, screaming, healthy son, without him. The next morning, still groggy from everything, my cousin Sarah called me. She sounded nervous. She asked if I'd seen Jason's Facebook. I told her no. I hadn't looked at anything. I was too tired. Then she said, "You might want to check. Just don't be alone when you do." I opened the app, and there he was. Jason, sitting in a hotel pool, shirtless, smiling, holding a drink. Next to him, a blonde in yoga pants who I recognized instantly as Coach Lexi, his personal trainer. They were live, talking about relaxation, resting the body, honoring your personal journey. He wasn't even hiding it. The caption said, "Recharge day with Coach Lexi. #wellness first, #vibes only, #self-care king." My son had been alive for 8 hours. Jason hadn't even asked his name. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. Not right then. I stared at that video and something inside me snapped. I don't know what to call it. Clarity, maybe. Cold, sharp clarity. I saw him for what he was. Not confused. Not scared. Not overwhelmed. Just selfish. When a nurse came in to check on me, I asked her if I could leave early. I told her I had a ride. She tried to talk me out of it, but I signed the papers. I took my son, got in my mom's car, and never looked back. Jason didn't even call until the next evening. He said, "So, guess you had the baby?" I didn't answer. Cool. Boy or girl? I hung up. 2 days later, he showed up at my mom's house. Smelled like cologne and hotel laundry. He walked in like he was the victim. "You're being crazy," he said. "Why are you making this so hard? You're always so dramatic." That word. Dramatic. He'd used it for years. Anytime I got upset. Anytime I tried to express my feelings. Dramatic. I told him I needed space. That if he really wanted to be a father, he'd need to earn it. He scoffed. Then he said, "Fine. Maybe I need space too. Gonna go focus on me for a bit." He actually said that. Like he'd been the one abandoned in a hospital room. I hadn't seen him in weeks. No texts, no visits, no gifts for the baby. Just silence. Then one night, feeding my son in my mom's living room, I saw it. Another post. Jason, doing a half-assed yoga pose in front of a cabin. Shirt off again. Caption said, "Booked a 7-day solo wellness retreat. at Serenity Creek. Time to detox, get grounded, and start fresh. I almost laughed. Serenity Creek. Of all places. My Aunt Valerie owns Serenity Creek. It's a retreat about 2 hours outside Denton. Middle of nowhere. Big property. Total digital detox. No phones, no Wi-Fi. Guests live off the grid for a week doing transformational healing. Valerie had turned the old family ranch into a legit wellness resort. Rich people paid thousands to find themselves there. But if you knew the right people, it could be flexible. I called her. Tia, she said, using my nickname. How's the little one? Growing. Healthy. Sweet as sugar, I said. But I need a favor. I'll do whatever you need. So I told her Jason was coming. She went quiet for a second. Then she asked, "Are you trying to scare him? Hurt him?" "No," I said. "I want him to feel what I felt. Alone. Scared. Powerless." She took a deep breath. Then said, "All right. I'll set it up." He showed up with a suitcase full of supplements, whey protein, and Bluetooth speakers. Valerie met him at the gate. She wore her long linen robe and wide-brim hat, always looking like some desert priestess. She gave him tea and made him sign the waiver. He didn't read it, of course. He laughed at the no-phone rule. Said, "That's cool. I need a break anyway." Handed over his phone like a child giving up his toy. They assigned him to the Earth Path cabin. No windows, just wood, heat, and silence. The first 3 days were soft. Cold food, early hikes, group therapy. Jason didn't take it seriously. He flirted with staff, cracked jokes in meditation. But by day 4, Valerie shifted gears. He was moved to inner confrontation housing. No bed. No light. Just a mat and a single candle. He had to do mirror sessions 4 times a day. Sit alone with a mirror and ask himself, "Who am I without the world watching?" He started breaking down. By day 6, he stopped talking. He tried to walk off the property. Got intercepted by staff. He begged for his phone. They told him, "You're still in process." He cried. Jason cried. And Valerie sent me pictures. Not of him crying, but of his journal pages. The parts he was forced to write about things I've done that caused pain. On day 7, the final day, every guest writes a letter to someone they wronged. Jason wrote me. Valerie sent it to me in a sealed envelope. It said, "I know I messed up. I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't know how to handle things. I got overwhelmed. I thought I deserved peace too. I'm sorry if I failed you. I miss the baby. I miss you. I want to talk. Please." He folded it in half and handed it to Valerie, probably thinking she'd mail it. But I'd already been mailed the only thing I wanted, a copy of the signed waiver. The one that proved he chose a pool over parenthood. Jason came back to town a different man, but not in the way you might expect. He lost weight. His tan was gone. He looked like someone who'd just come out of a 12-step program mixed with a survival show. Beard scruffy. Eyes twitchy. He wasn't swaggering like he used to. No gym bag, no tank top, no Lexi. He showed up at my mom's door again, holding a small box. I didn't open it. From the window, I saw him look around like he didn't recognize the neighborhood. He stood there for a while before knocking. Just once. No yelling, no calling my name. Eventually, I opened the door, but just a crack. "Can I come in?" he asked. His voice was dry. "No," I said. He held up the box. "It's for the baby. Just clothes." I didn't take it. "Keep it," I said. "I've got plenty." "I'm different now," he said, like that meant anything. "Serenity Creek changed me. You don't understand what I went through." "Oh, I do," I said. "I designed it." His face twisted, confused. "What do you mean?" "My aunt owns Serenity Creek." I called her. He blinked, trying to process. "You? What?" "I made sure you got the real retreat," I said. "The kind where people actually reflect, feel something, sit in the dark and face what they've done." His lips parted like he was going to argue, but then they closed. He stepped back. For once, no excuse. No charm. Just shame. I get it now, he said quietly. I get what I did. I don't care if you get it, I said. You don't get to erase it. I shut the door. But that wasn't the end. Not even close. 2 weeks later, Lexi reached out. Yep. Her. She DM'd me from a burner Instagram account. All lowercase letters. Just said, I didn't know. I'm sorry. Can we talk? I didn't answer. The next day, I got a text from an unknown number. Then a voicemail. It was her. Hey, this is Lexi. I know you probably hate me, and I understand. But I didn't know he was gone when you had the baby. I thought he was going to the hospital. He told me you weren't letting him in the room. She paused. I broke it off 2 weeks ago. When I found out, he lied to me too. I didn't reply. But she wasn't done. She posted a video. On her own account this time. She sat in her car, no makeup, eyes red. To the woman I hurt, I am so sorry. He told me things that weren't true. He said the marriage was already over. That you were just living together for the baby. That you were crazy and emotional. I believed him. Because I wanted to. That's on me. And to Jason, don't text me again. Don't show up at my gym. Don't send me flowers. We're done. That video got shared. A lot. People in our circle started talking. Jason, once the golden boy of the local fitness scene, got quietly dropped from 2 community boot camps he helped lead. One of his old clients made a post too. Said Jason flirted with her while she was going through chemo. Said he made comments about her letting herself go. Suddenly, he wasn't a self-care king anymore. He was a pariah. I'd already filed for divorce. But now I had more. Abandonment during medical emergency. Emotional neglect. Proof of infidelity. Screenshots of Lexi's video. Even the letter he wrote at the retreat. Valerie offered to testify if needed. And she had recordings, therapy sessions from the retreat. Not legal for court, but very useful for leverage. My lawyer said, you've got him in a vice. Jason tried to get joint custody. He claimed Serenity Creek was spiritual rehab and that he'd had a breakthrough. But the judge read the records. Read the letter. Saw the live video he posted the day I gave birth. He got supervised visitation only. 2 Saturdays a month. And when he showed up for the first one, our son cried the whole time. But Jason wasn't done causing problems. 2 months later, I got served. He was suing Serenity Creek. He claimed psychological harm, said he'd been abused, humiliated, and manipulated. The kicker? He said he'd been targeted by me and Valerie, and that the retreat had weaponized therapy against him. My aunt laughed for a full minute when I called her. Let him try, she said. The waiver covers everything. He begged for a second stay on day 7. He had. That was the last note in his file. He wrote, I need more time. Please don't send me back to who I was. And now he wanted to pretend he'd been a victim. That was when I knew. Jason hadn't changed. He just didn't like being held accountable. Jason's lawsuit didn't go anywhere at first. His lawyer tried making noise, filed papers full of nonsense, accusing Serenity Creek of emotional abuse, false imprisonment, and even cult tactics. But the waiver Jason signed was airtight. Valerie had it reviewed years ago by a team of attorneys. Every single retreat guest goes through the same process. And Jason wasn't singled out, he just didn't like the mirror. But then he pulled a twist none of us saw coming. He went to the local news. A reporter from a smaller online outlet ran a piece, Texas man speaks out about trauma from wellness retreat. The headline had a picture of Jason sitting on a bench outside the courthouse, looking like a victim. There were quotes like, I went there to heal. Instead, I was manipulated. Locked in a cabin and forced to stare at a mirror for hours. They took my phone. I didn't talk to my son for a week. I thought something had happened to him. The reporter didn't reach out to Valerie. Didn't check court documents. Just ran the story. Suddenly, Serenity Creek had protesters outside its gate. Not a lot, maybe 6 or 7 people with signs, but still. Some idiot had read the article and started a Reddit thread titled, "Is Serenity Creek a cult?" Valerie called me that night. Her tone was calm, but I could hear the tension in her voice. "We'll be fine," she said. "I've handled worse. But this man is trying to destroy what I built." He was. And he didn't even care that he was also dragging his own son's family into it. I started getting messages too. From strangers. From Jason's old gym buddies. Some of them accusing me of setting him up. One even said, "You ruined a good man's life just because he needed a break." I blocked them. But it stuck with me. Jason was spinning a new narrative. The abused husband. The overworked dad. The one who tried to grow and got punished for it. And some people were buying it. 3 weeks after Jason's interview went live, Lexi reached out again. She showed up, uninvited, at the daycare drop-off. I saw her leaning against her car as I pulled in. She looked nervous. Skinny, tired, nothing like her videos. "I just need 2 minutes," she said. "Hands up. Please." I didn't get out of the car. I cracked the window. "What?" I asked. She swallowed. "Jason, he's not letting this go." I thought he would, but he's obsessed with what happened at the retreat. He's blaming everyone. "Me, you, your aunt." I stared at her. Said nothing. "He told me last week," she said, "that if his lawsuit didn't work, he'd make her pay in other ways." "Your aunt." My stomach dropped. Lexi pulled out her phone. "I recorded it." He didn't know. She played it. Jason's voice, low and bitter. "If Valerie wants to play God, she can fall like one. I'll burn that place down if I have to." I closed my window. But the next day, I called my aunt. Valerie upgraded security. Added cameras. Posted warnings. But someone broke into the main cabin 2 nights later. Nothing was stolen. Just vandalized. A mirror smashed. Windows cracked. Bookshelves overturned. One wall spray-painted with red letters, "You think you're safe? Not from me." The staff called the police. They filed a report, but no arrest. No fingerprints. Just a tire track and boot prints outside the property. Valerie called me the next morning. She didn't sound scared. She sounded pissed. "He's escalating," she said. "But he picked the wrong ranch." That's when I told her, "Let's finish this." I didn't mean violence. I meant the truth. All of it. We hired a private investigator. Valerie knew someone from her late husband's security days. Quiet, thorough, experienced. In 3 weeks, he got everything. Jason had not just cheated with Lexi. He'd been with 3 other women. One of them was a married client. Another was barely 19, a former gym receptionist. The PI got texts, videos, receipts from hotel rooms paid in cash. But that wasn't all. Jason had been skimming money from his boot camp clients, overcharging older clients, selling training packages he never fulfilled. One woman, 70 years old, paid him $900 for 10 sessions. He ghosted her after 2. We collected it all. And we handed it to the local police. They opened a quiet fraud investigation. And that was when Jason's entire little empire started crumbling. When the police showed up at Jason's apartment with a warrant, he didn't answer the door. They waited an hour. Then they used the key from the property manager. He was inside, in his living room, surrounded by open folders and ripped-up documents. Some looked like receipts. Others were old contracts with clients. He was trying to destroy the evidence. It didn't matter. We had copies. Jason was arrested for fraud, harassment, and property damage related to the break-in at Serenity Creek. His face made the local news again, this time not as a wellness advocate, but as a scam artist. I didn't watch it live. I was in the backyard with my son. Valerie sent me a screenshot. He looked like a shell. Gray hoodie. Eyes swollen. No smirk. Part of me felt satisfied. But another part of me didn't. Jason's gym shut down within days. His fitness coach brand was dead. His face was removed from every flyer, every banner, every promo in the Fort Worth wellness circuit. But the real damage? It was in the letters that started arriving at my aunt's ranch. Not hate mail. Apologies. Former clients of Jason. Women. Men. Elderly folks. People who'd felt uncomfortable with him for years, but never spoke up. They said things like, "He made me feel stupid every time I didn't lose weight. He offered to train my daughter for free, then ghosted her. He told me I was too old to be attractive." I believed him. He'd been hurting people for a long time. I just hadn't seen it. Here's where I'll be honest. I made mistakes too. I ignored red flags for years. Jason had a temper. He gaslit me constantly. He made me feel small. I told myself he was just driven. That he cared too much. That I was emotional. I stayed silent when he crossed lines. I kept trying to fix him. Love him harder. Be less dramatic. And worst of all, I tried to teach him a lesson instead of walking away clean. Sending him to Serenity Creek wasn't just about closure. It was revenge. And while I don't regret exposing him, part of me knows I didn't do it for justice. I did it to make him feel what I felt. Alone. Lost. Small. And I succeeded. But it came at a cost. Because I started to become like him, cold, calculating, distant. I ignored my own healing to get payback. And in the process, I missed a month of bonding with my son that I'll never get back. 3 months after his arrest, Jason requested a meeting. Not at my mom's. Not at court. He wrote a letter and gave it to his court-appointed attorney. He wanted to meet in a supervised setting, to say goodbye. I agreed. We met in a small room at the courthouse. There was a social worker and my lawyer present. He looked broken. No more smooth talk. No cologne. Just a hoodie and jeans. He didn't try to hug me. Didn't even reach across the table. "I ruined everything," he said. "I know that now." I didn't answer. He looked down at his hands. "You were right. I never showed up when it mattered. Not for you. Not for the baby." He took a shaky breath. "I don't expect forgiveness. I want him to know someday that I tried." I said, "Then stop trying to win. Start trying to be decent." He nodded. And that was the last time I saw him in person. Jason took a plea deal. 6 months in county jail. 3 years probation. He can't leave the state without permission. Can't work in fitness without a license. And guess what? He'll never get one again. His name's on the registry now. A warning to anyone who Googles him. Lexi moved away. Last I heard, she's doing social work now. My aunt? She bounced back fast. Serenity Creek had a waitlist within 2 months. And every guest now signs a line that says, "Do not come here to run away. Come here to face what you've done." As for me, I got full custody. My son is almost 1 now. He laughs when the wind hits his face. He sleeps with 1 sock off, just like I did when I was a baby. Sometimes I still feel angry. But I'm working through it, because revenge isn't healing. But justice? Justice feels damn good.